We are looking for innovative startups and SMEs eager to contribute to energy transition in the Arabian Gulf with solutions in energy management, industrial efficiency, decentralized energy systems. We invite you to participate in RAK Energy Innovation Competition, SME Edition, the first startup innovation competition in Ras Al Khaimah dedicated to energy transition. Win cash prizes, market exposure, and strategic partnerships in the UAE's power, water, and industrial sectors. 3 winning startups or SMEs will receive 100,000 dirhams, exemption from business setup and visa fees, opportunities for projects and partnerships with government agencies and businesses in our senior advisory panel, market exposure at the next RAK Energy Summit. We're here to help you bring the next generation of energy technology to Ras Al Khaimah and the Arabian Gulf. For more information and to apply, visit our website.
Hello, everyone, and a very, very warm welcome from the sunny United Arab Emirates here. And this is an amazing opportunity for everyone in this call, which Ras Al Khaimah Energy Efficiency and Renewables team has put forth here. My name is Sagrika, and I'm the founder of WXPO, and we are very proud to be a support partner with them. WXPO is a digital movement which invites women-led SDG initiatives to showcase their amazing projects themselves, as well as what they do to the world. I would firstly like to introduce we'll hear more about this particular competition from Ruqayya, who is here with us to tell us more on what RAK Municipality does and what this competition is all about. But before that, I would love to thank Bia Hakula, the founder and president of For Africa Women Empowerment, for partnering with the WXPO to successfully conduct this webinar. Bia, let us know a little few words on how energy is very important to all the African women.
Thank you very much, Sagarika. This is a very important summit for us because as For Africa Women, this is one of the pillars, the energy, mining, and climate change. As we know that without energy, it's very difficult to manage the household as a woman. We've experienced many challenges. If there's anything that is not working well at home, the mother is at the center, and energy makes everything move. So I'm so pleased and honored to partner with you. And I think this will be a start for us to move with this pillar in terms of focusing on energy. We also know that this is a sector that very few women are participating, are active in. And with this partnership, our women are so looking forward to really take their rightful place, as we know that if we want to change anything in the world, and particularly in our continent, Africa, we need to put women at the center of the transformation. And energy is everything, whether you want to talk connectivity, you want to talk power, you want to talk climate change, energy is at the center of it all. So thank you very much for partnering with us in this webinar.
I would like to thank you too for bringing all the amazing women of Africa Women to be a part of this. And this all would not be possible if without Ruqayya Sharif, who's the manager of awareness and capacity building with the Ras Al Khaimah Energy Efficiency and Renewables REAM office. Ruqayya, I know you're here to tell us all about the competition and everything that will go along with it. But before we hand over the whole complete thing for you to talk about it, what I would love to ask you about here is how can all of us support the Ras Al Khaimah's initiative of building a cleaner energy future with innovation, technology, and everything that's included in this. So just a quick little bit on how we all can actually come forth with that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sagarika, for a warm introduction, and thank you, Bia, for giving us a little more awareness on, how women in Africa would probably be very interested in something like this to take their rightful place. You said it right. To answer your question, I think as SMEs, if you are an owner of an SME, we have a very thriving SME ecosystem here in Ras Al Khaimah, and how it would benefit you is by the number of incentives that we have in place for the SMEs, only because we want to encourage SMEs, we want to encourage startups, build an ecosystem here, because we really believe in small businesses bringing innovation, which is what we will talk about today. I'm going to introduce Ras Al Khaimah first, and just so people, wherever you're connected from, have a glimpse of the business opportunities that Ras Al Khaimah offers, and the existing business opportunities that are available, and what kind of offers that we have. Following which, I will quickly introduce you the competition, which is purely for SMEs in the sustainable energy sector. And then we open the floor for questions. Happy to answer any questions that you may have. So is it okay if I begin?
Yeah, perfect. And I hope everybody at the For Africa Women find this session purely very empowering, engagement, and thought-provoking. And thanks, Ruqayya, and the stage is over to you.
Thank you, Sagarika. On that note, let's quickly begin with watching a short video about Ras Al Khaimah and the business that happens here in Ras Al Khaimah. We'll play a short video for you, and then I'll take you through the presentation.
Ras Al Khaimah, 7,000 years of history and glory. Now, Ras Al Khaimah is a symbol of development and evolution. The spirit of nature is flourishing, and from its mountains, new horizons are visible. With a multitude of state-of-the-art factories exporting across the world, making a footprint almost everywhere. With its 5 ports located at the shores of the Arabian Gulf, Ras Al Khaimah has become an international gateway for all kinds of marine services and shipping, and its coasts are pulsing with life. At the epicenter is Sakra Port, the largest bulk handling port in the Middle East and North Africa. For those with drive and ambition, they will find in Ras Al Khaimah an established and diversified economy that offers enriching investment opportunities and international standards, complemented by a vision and strategy that has a focus on the future. Ras Al Khaimah is a base for leading international companies, and it has become a respected and reputed place for business, as well as a key exporter of high-quality products across many major economic sectors. Its beautiful beaches are lined with astounding offerings. Opulent resorts and hotels are aplenty, as if an artist had painted a fine scenery. For those who dream of reaching the peak of adventure, they will see scenery like no other in a tourist paradise. When the rays of the sun reach over the mountains, bear witness to a spectacular horizon. To be embraced with open arms, a magical city open to the world. Ras Al Khaimah.
Thank you very much. I hope you had a quick glimpse of what Ras Al Khaimah has to offer. And without further ado, I would take you through a short presentation of why we are gathered here and to talk about the competition itself. Let me just... Yes, okay, great. So let me just start with a quick background of who we are and where we're from and what we do here in Ras Al Khaimah. So first of all, Ras Al Khaimah is the northernmost emirate in the UAE, and as you saw in the video, it has a small population of about 400,000 and growing, about 4% of annual GDP growth. It has the largest bulk handling port in the Middle East and North Africa. It has some major economic businesses set up already, and it attracts more than 1 million tourists every year. So all in all, it is a growing emirate, and we're now looking to expand and to inject or have a good ecosystem for the SMEs and startups here in Ras Al Khaimah. Now, who we are is I'm the manager for awareness and capacity building in the energy efficiency and renewables office. Now, our office is in charge of managing and implementing the strategy of energy efficiency and renewables for the entire emirate of Ras Al Khaimah. So as you can see, the strategy is divided into about 9 programs where we're taking care of different aspects of energy when it comes to, let's say, new buildings or existing buildings, the energy management in these buildings. We're talking about efficient appliances, efficient vehicles, solar programs, wastewater, waste management, waste to energy, all of these things. Now, this particular strategy was set up sometime in 2017, and it has a target to save about 30% of electricity, 20% of water, and 20% of injection of 20% renewables in the energy mix. So much to say about the strategy that it also has about 5 enablers, as you can see: awareness building, financing, policy and regulation, research, and information systems. So one of the main pillars of this strategy is awareness and capacity building, where we bring to the fore, we create awareness on all our programs. We build capacity of people, we build capacity for the companies, to everything related to sustainable energy. And as part of this particular pillar or enabler of awareness and capacity building is where Ras Al Khaimah or RAK Energy Innovation Competition or the SME edition enters. These are some of the important milestones starting from 2017 when we set up the office until today. So we've addressed all the programs in the strategy are active, and we've rolled out a number of initiatives for green buildings, for new buildings. We have our own regulation, green building regulations. We talk about efficient vehicles. We have decrees for existing buildings, and leading by example for the government. We've retrofitted buildings across the government, and we've done our first aggregated solar tender. We have green procurement guidelines. So quite advanced in terms, at least in the region, where we talk about some of very innovative initiatives. We've also rolled out some initiatives when it comes to community. So engaging with community, we did a similar competition engaging the youth or the school students, and we had a school competition 2 years ago, and then we also ran a social media campaign engaging the community. We have green financing mechanisms. Last year, we had our first RAK Energy Summit. It is sustainable energy event that happens in Ras Al Khaimah. The first time happened was last year, and then we aim to do it again next year. So it's a biennial event. And during the RAK Energy Summit is when we launched the RAK Energy Innovation Competition, and this time an SME edition. So to take you through the journey, let me begin with what kind of the share of buildings that are here in Ras Al Khaimah and the consumption, the electricity consumption of this. So as you can see, we have when we look at about the government buildings, residential buildings, industrial facilities, we're looking at about 50% of electricity consumption, almost 50% comes from the industrial facilities, and about a little less than 50% comes from the government and residential buildings. And you can see that this already says that there's so much scope for energy efficiency and to apply sustainable energy solutions within the emirate. Like I was talking about the green building regulation. So we have a regulation that was mandated in 2020, and all new buildings that are going to be built are to be complied with Burjeel, that is the green building regulations, which means you're looking at all new buildings being fitted with sustainable energy solutions like better insulation, efficient ACs, and things like that, right? So the green building regulations itself covers energy efficiency, water efficiency, renewables, materials, comfort, and well-being. So that only says that we have so much scope for any company that offers solutions in any of these, because we're looking at about 1,800 buildings that were built so far, and the number of buildings permitted is about 6,200, so they're going to be built. So it is an ongoing process, right? On the same pipeline for new buildings, we're also developing an energy rating system to further enhance the energy efficiency in buildings. We move to existing buildings, and before that, we did the new buildings. Now with the new communities, now we're looking at the public realm. We're seeing we've launched sustainable community guidelines, and we're in the process of currently implementing these guidelines in the first pilot project, government pilot project, where it's going to be a sustainable cluster. So we're looking at having a community where we focus on energy, water as usual, but livability and mobility as well. So we look at these guidelines being implemented for other communities as well, for private developers to apply these guidelines in their communities. For the existing buildings, we're looking, or we at least target to serve about 3,000 buildings by 2040. So retrofit about 3,000 buildings by 2040. And we're looking at an investment about 500 million dirhams over a period of 20 years. Now, again, as you can see on the screen, you will see that there are government buildings, the commercial buildings, how they are, what is the target that we're looking at, broken down at 2030, at 2040, and then the percentage of electricity consumption for each of these, right? Now, some of the successful retrofit projects, like I said before, that government has taken the lead, and they're leading by example, and they started off by retrofitting government buildings in Ras Al Khaimah. And some of the very successful projects is first of all our own building that we did in the municipality, and then we did the economic zone, the free zone authority of Ras Al Khaimah, RAK. There was a few buildings for the Department of Finance and a school, so about 15 buildings in the school area, right? And so far we've retrofitted more than 300 buildings, and more are coming. And you can see some of the numbers in terms of percentage savings of electricity, of water, the payback periods, the amount, the savings in terms of money as well. Now, from the buildings, this is where I cover the government, residential, commercial buildings. Now, when we move to industries, you should know that Ras Al Khaimah is one of the largest industrial hub here in the UAE, and it has approximately 25,000 companies and more than 100 facilities, large facilities. So there is a really strong focus on energy, and we're looking at some of these industries that have been set up are already taking first steps to in the way of sustainable energy. So some of them already have heat recovery installed. They have solar thermal energy management certifications, renewable energy. So these are already applied in a few of the industries here in Ras Al Khaimah. As part of our contribution, or an initiative that we launched for the industries in Ras Al Khaimah, is an industrial audit initiative, which was also launched in the summit last year, where we are facilitating audits for big industries to see where they can save energy and how they can implement sustainable practices while keeping business going, right? So now, what exactly are we offering to the private sector? There are a lot of opportunities, as you may have seen, with the number of buildings, the new buildings that are coming up, with communities that are coming up, with initiatives focused on industries. So there's plenty of opportunity in, I would say, about 5 areas, right? We're looking at design and advisory area, where we're looking at a private sector being able to contribute in terms of performance rating, advising on sustainable strategies, design more sustainable buildings. In the area of construction, we're looking at developing modular buildings. So companies that are into this there's a lot of scope for them to install sustainable or to supply sustainable building material, right? In the area of manufacturing and distribution, we're looking at having more efficient pumps, vehicles, street lighting, and other things. This is more relevant for the industrial sector. In terms of operation, we look at renewable energy systems, again, building retrofits, energy monitoring solutions, and things like that. When it comes to financing, we're looking at having more efficient appliances, efficient vehicles, sustainable homes and projects that we can launch, right? So some of the facts that are there, I'm not going to go through all of them, but some of the facts that are there are what is currently happening here in Ras Al Khaimah. That only gives you idea of what is more to come. We'll share this presentation with you. So if you have any further questions, I'm willing to answer after the webinar as well. Now, keeping all of these things in mind, we realize that there is major for SMEs and startups to enter this market, and we launched the RAK Energy Innovation Competition for the SMEs. What we want to do is we want you to partner with us and then show us your solutions, right? And to contribute to having a clean energy future. The main objective of this competition is to bring innovative leading startups and SMEs whose solutions can actually, address a few challenges that we have already defined. So problem statements is what I would call them. And now these challenges that we've defined are not only prevalent in Ras Al Khaimah, but they're applicable for broader MENA region, considering it's around here. So that again speaks about how you not only may have opportunities here in Ras Al Khaimah, business opportunities, but also you can expand further into the MENA region. So what we're asking for is to submit a solution, a service offering for any challenge that you think you can solve, and so submit your solution to us, and then in return we give you attractive setup packages, a monetary prize, business development opportunities, which I will take you through in the next few slides. So the three challenges that we have now, we've defined them, are they're all in sustainable energy sector, and we're looking at the first one is the energy management, the second one is industrial efficiency, and the third one is decentralized energy. So we're looking at implementing, if you have a solution that can implement energy management systems for organizations, for households, you're welcome to apply. So innovative equipment, data gathering equipment, analysis, operations, anything to do with energy management. We're looking at not only covering large-scale solutions, but also low-cost, smart solutions for homes. The second challenge is particularly for industries, and we're looking at solutions that will allow industries to get higher returns on investment than compared to conventional solutions. If you look at it, it could be waste heat recovery, digitization, electrification, and things like that. In the field of decentralized energy, we're looking at distributed or storage solutions that reduce energy cost, and we're looking at providing solutions that would save on electricity, buildings, mobility, things like that. Now, the customers for decentralized energy are not utilities, but end users. So again, very specific to an SME, to a startup, to be able to answer this, right? Now going to the winning SME or startup, what are they going to get? So I would start with, yes, there is a monetary prize of 100,000 dirhams, which is about 27,000 US dollars. Aside from this, we're giving you free company setup and visa setup. So we're giving you a company setup and visa fees completely exempted for 3 years. And then we're giving you an opportunity to meet with our senior executive board, which you will also see in a couple minutes, to have to pitch your solution to them, right? There are collaboration opportunities. Then what is more exciting is we're going to give a commercial pilot project to the winning SME or a startup, keeping in mind that the scope of terms are agreed upon. Then you get a commercial pilot project as well. All of this is to the SMEs that there's going to be a winner. Now, in the three challenges that I defined, we're going to choose one winner per challenge. So we will have, ideally, we will have 3 winners for the SME competition, and all 3 of them this as an individual package. This is our senior executive board. Let me make a quick introduction to some of the sectors that are participating, or some of the people that are participating as senior executive members. Now, we see here that we're targeting, most of these are from government, state-owned enterprises, and they're all C-level executives. So we're looking at government from the Department of Economic Development, RAK Chamber, the Chamber of Commerce of Ras Al Khaimah. We're looking at hospitality sector. We're looking at developers. So Marjan, RAK Properties, Al Hamra, they're all developers. And we have all C-level executives on the senior executive board. We have someone from RAK Petroleum Authority, which is RAK Gas. We have someone from Public Services Department, actually 3 people. They're covering the Works Agency, waste management, wastewater, and things like that. We have the Tourism Development Authority. We have the Free Zone Authority of Ras Al Khaimah, called RAK. We have a gentleman from Ministry of Economy as well on the board, and someone from the Investment Development Office of Ras Al Khaimah. This is the Sovereign Wealth Fund office that is in Ras Al Khaimah. We have him as well. So these are some of the very interesting senior executive board members that you will be able to work with and discuss or pitch your projects to, should you be shortlisted, should you be winning the competition. We also have some of our partners, the sponsors and partners that we have are the startup sponsor is RAK, that is the Free Zone Authority. So they're the ones that are sponsoring that are exempting the business setup fees and visa fees for the winners. Of course, we have our event partner Commerce Connect, who are putting this together and who are doing the outreach activities for us, making sure that this reaches far and wide and attract as many SMEs as possible from all around the world. Some of our community partners, we're working very closely with a lot of trade councils from different countries to attract SMEs, because the idea is to bring innovative solutions from all over the world, right? So we have some of our community partners who are also supporting the outreach activities from Spain, Ireland, Japan, South Korea, Netherlands, Africa, for today that we are having this webinar, India, Czech Republic, and Canada, etc. So that's more or less it about the competition. I'm gonna stick on this page for a couple of seconds or a couple minutes for you to scan the QR code and read more about this competition. The application form is an online form, and it's also on our website. Please scan the QR code. We'll also share this presentation with you, so it will also be available on the presentation itself. It's a very simple online form. To be very honest, it's not such an elaborate thing to fill to. I would say it would take about minimum 3 to 4 hours to fill the form. We're just asking for your product offering or service offering. We're asking you to submit some case studies, give us some data, give us what your revenues are, show us that it is a legit company, and show us how your solution is innovative and how you're addressing one of the challenges that we've defined. And that's it. So it's an online form. We don't need anything else. So the process will be that we will receive all the applications, following which we will evaluate these applications. And once we've reached to a shortlist, or if we have any questions with the online applications, we reach out to the applicants and clarify the questions. And then it goes to the senior executive board for their evaluation, following which we will choose the winners and communicate that to them, which is when they will commit to setting up their businesses here in Ras Al Khaimah. So that's more or less it. This is my contact details, and please feel free to scan the QR code and feel free to reach out to me should you have any questions about the competition itself, about filling the form, on the application, on the challenge statements, anything. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. That's it from my end. I would like to open the floor for questions. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ruqayya. It was beautiful to hear so much about the whole competition. And I'm sure the being worldwide audience that we have captured and the SMEs who have been applying for the particular competition has been tremendous. So we have Ms. Vusu, who's asking us, we are a smart electricity meter manufacturer in South Africa. Please also talk about your localization requirements. Do we have to have a local person in the proposal?
Honestly, no. That is why we're giving the whole the proposal. The winner gets to set up their business here in Ras Al Khaimah, right? So what is required is that you do set up a business here, which is very, very important. And that first thing is that you qualify as an SME. And if yes, then we expect you to set up a business here. Have a person, you will definitely need a person here in terms of developing business opportunities. So we will work closely with you, right? So if you think you can travel and come back, but believe me, and I think Sagarika can support this, once you come to RAK, there's no going back. So you will definitely need to have one person just to have to do business development opportunities, to be there for introductions with these senior executive board members. And but I'm not asking you to pack up your business in SA, but at least have a small local office here and have someone to manage the business development opportunities.
Yeah. And also what I'd like to add to complete what Ruqayya is saying, I think what Ras Al Khaimah REAM opportunities are giving us is basically to have a company out of your existing business. So you have global expansion in the Middle East. And I think Ras Al Khaimah is a perfect place to be because you are building a smart city and sustainable city there. So definitely there's lots more Ras Al Khaimah has to offer. And a local person, it can be someone from existing in your company who can actually come up and set up shop here. So it doesn't have to be, if you're meaning by local, it doesn't have to be an Emirati in your proposal. It can be your existing team of the smart meter manufacturing unit that you already have set up in South Africa. That's a good question. The other one is asking, we have Bia who's asking, would it also be possible to include a trade mission to explore these opportunities in line of the pillars of focus?
Yes, actually, that's a very interesting question. And to expand a little bit on this, is that we do now the trade councils that you saw in one of the slides, right? So we do have a few missions that come from there. So we have delegation that visits that visits Ras Al Khaimah, and RAKs, the Free Zone Authority, usually are arranging for this. So then what they do is they look at different expertise, right? They look at, okay, what kind of delegation is coming? Are they more energy focused? Are they more catering to hospitality and things like that? And then what they do is they put together a team of different entities from Ras Al Khaimah that then meet with the delegation. So you get an opportunity to meet with different people depending on the people that you would bring. So your focus areas that you would want to bring. So yes, we do that. We've hosted delegations from Ireland, from Germany, from Singapore, from Japan as well. So yeah, it's something that we do too.
Yeah. And I would also like to include, I'm sure you'll be having the Energy Summit later, the event. I'm sure we can invite them for the event also. So we'll keep
Absolutely.
Africa for Africa on that. Yeah. I think that will be also an amazing platform for them, that once we have to announce the winners, it doesn't stop only with this one.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Because we'll be there all along the way to help guide, because we understand it may be very overwhelming to move, especially for SMEs and startups, to move from where they are to completely new place, right? So we're giving full support as our office, the REAM office, will give full support to make sure that you've been introduced to people, that you have a set pilot project hand, and help you out with any kind of issues that you may be having. So we'll count us in for taking you through this, and to make this a success.
Perfect. So thank you so much, Ruqayya, for having us on this particular competition. And I'm sure the RAK Energy Innovation Competition will bring all the energy companies to Ras Al Khaimah. And also Bia Hakula, President of the For Africa Women, we'd like, in gratitude for you, to get all the African women together who are actually here for success. Now you all have Bia's contact, my contact, as well as Ruqayya's contact. Feel free to ask us questions on the RAK Energy if you have any questions, or if you feel you're stuck while filling up the form. All three of us are always available to answer any of your questions. And good luck to filling up the form. Welcome to the competition.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Bia. Seriously, thanks a lot for putting this together, and I look forward for For Africa Women to be a big part of this competition.
Definitely, we will definitely take it beyond the competition. I've listened thoroughly to the presentation, and I believe there's a wider scope for our women. We've got a set of women in our fold. I've looked at the hospitality industry and also the various sectors. The other one that interested me most is your modular structure, because we've got women that are in development and construction. So whilst we're looking at the energy, there's a wider scope for us. and will engage further to take this process forward. And this includes a trade mission. Definitely, we should be planning for one soon, but we'll engage before we do so. So it was such an informative session. And I'm confident that from the women that have joined, even others that have not been able to join, we are going to share the information to make sure that there's maximum participation of our SMEs in this program. It's a very exciting, a very progressive initiative from government. Really, I must commend your leadership. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.